Well, it is Wednesday, April 28th. We have with us today Dr. Nate Lambert. He is a fellow that we got to hear from last week at Nationals. He spent an hour and told us the things that are working for him and how to plug them into our lives, how to get that success. And the whole purpose of it was to show each of us what we can do to improve our lives, to reach out and lift the hands of those that hang down. uh, there we know that there have been times in our lives when we've struggled and wished we could have had this. And wouldn't it be a selfish thing if we just kept this to ourselves now that we found it? Dr. Nate Lambert is with us this morning, and he's going to help us share this with the people that need it. Nate, how are you this morning? Nate, I know I saw you check in. Let's see if I can find you here. Unmute your mic. There we go. How's it going this morning, Nate?
Hey, it's going fantastic. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, great. All right. Well, I am super excited. Ron, can you turn over the thing to my screen so I can share my screen?
Absolutely.
I'm going to use I'm upgrading my technology, guys. I'm no longer just a phone guy.
Hey, there we go, Nate. It's all yours.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to actually be sharing some content with you guys. Let me first off start by just telling you a few things that are on my mind this morning. First of all, I just want to say how proud I am of Team Elevate. We are now officially number one in the country. Woohoo! So, I'm sorry. I was like so excited when I saw that Michael Huggins took the first spot. I know that probably not 80 or 90% of us override to Michael. So I just want to say that so many of us here on the call made this happen. And, I was up on the stage as the number 5 income earner. And so I got to have a quick peek at the screen and saw that Michael was number 1. So, I could hardly contain myself. I was so excited.
Nate, let me jump in just a second. Is everyone able to hear Nate? I can't hear him on my phone, but I hear him on my computer. Edwin, you're responding. Okay, you're all hearing him. Very good. I just wanted to make sure. Nate, sorry to interrupt.
Okay, so everyone can hear me. Great. So, anyway, guys, we are all part of this, and we are never going to relinquish this spot. Let me just kind of point out that we've awakened the giant. Scott Rowe and his team are going to be all the more anxious to knock us out. So we've got to be on our A game. I, for one, want to maintain our number 1 spot in the country. How about you guys? Click yes or type yes if you want to stay number 1 in the country. All right. Good, Don. I'm glad you're on board. Amy, yes. We gotta make this happen, right? We gotta make this happen. Keep them coming. I love seeing your responses. So let me just tell you about, I've been thinking a lot about this, and I'm trying to think of what are some of the secrets that have made us number 1. And let me just share with you one of the things that I think is a defining factor in this, and what I think needs to continue to be a defining factor. It's transformed my business, and I'd like for you guys to adopt this mindset. So I'm aware that we need to present all packages now. That's part of compliance. So we will present all packages. But I want you to have the mindset of combos only. Now, obviously, when I say that, you're going to sell some essentials every once in a while if they just absolutely cannot make it. But for me, I don't really talk about the other options. My focus is on combos. And here's what I think it's done to our trajectories. We've got 4 of the 5 top spots in the top 5. And here's where we're at in our trajectory. And here's, Team Chicago, right? It's just not, it's hard. And here's why, because a lot of what they talk about is a 550 Army. So 550 Army, which means that you get people started on UGA Essentials. And let me just say that your commission on this, if you sign someone up as a UGA Essentials, is going to be about $200. $200. So, I was chatting with, the Kwok brothers in Chicago, and I said, look, doing this 550 Army, you're making $200. And to be honest, getting that sale takes almost as much work as getting a combo sale that pays me $10,000. $10,000. So how many of these 550 Armies do you need? Yeah, I know, Rebecca. I mentioned that you need to talk about all the options, right? But you can focus on combos only, even though you do tell them all the options. Okay, so 10,000 is what I make every time I sell a combo, and so look at this, guys. How many times does 200 go into 10,000? That's 50 times. So literally, if your focus is especially like on UGA Essentials, you have to work 50, you have to put in 50 times as many orders to get $10,000. 50 times the orders, okay? And I know that those UGA Essentials are going to continue to pay you $50 a month, right? For a while. But, it's just not, it just takes so long and so much extra work. Even if you just go for the 2,000, your commission is 1,000, and so your work is 10 times the work that I'm putting in to get one combo. So guys, this has really transformed my business, thinking about the difference between the UGA Essentials and even just Essentials and the combo. For me, I just focus on the combo. That's my intent. And here's what it's done for me. I was actually surprised. The biggest surprise of the award ceremony, aside from Michael Huggins knocking out Scott Rowe, is that I actually made the number 2 spot for getting people 5-star qualified. I guess I was a little surprised because I'm still newer. I'm still developing a team. I'm still trying to get things rolling in a lot of ways. But I got the number 2 spot in the country. And again, here's why. Because I focus on combos. So I would just say, um, keep your focus on combo sales, and it's gonna make a big difference. Because here's the thing: if you're thinking about essentials, if you're thinking of that as an option, the minute someone starts to have some concerns, you're gonna immediately say, "Oh well, there's this essentials package," and obviously they're gonna know about that, right? Because it's part of compliance that we share that exists. But you're gonna always default to the essentials, which the essentials guys doesn't even allow them to do real estate investing. It's not enough for them to actually invest in real estate. So, to really invest, you have to have your combo. So you might say, well, Carl, how do I change my mindset to combos? Well, for one, you need to be completely convinced, right? You need to be convinced yourself. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Amy points out the essentials takes more to get 5-star. I mean, look, why I'm number 2 in the country is because it takes my people 2 sales to get certified or qualified. People around the nation are taking 8 or 9 sales, 10 sales, sometimes even more to get qualified. So to really get this mindset going, you need to be convinced yourself. So you need to be fully convinced that the combo is the best source. I don't know where you started. Hopefully, if you're on this call, you've upgraded or you've got an active plan to make that happen. But you've got to remember just the many, many benefits of the combo. And we're talking you've got all the education. It's lifetime access. You've got for the marketing side, it's just a no-brainer, right? For marketing, you just have to have your combo. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to do the marketing in any other way, right? And you can get a UGA combo. I'm not against UGA combos. If the person can only come up with 4,000, then have them do a UGA combo, right? So, the marketing side, you've got all the bonus classes. You've got the coaching with Gavin McCaleb, which is amazing. If you haven't done that yet, make sure that you do it. But you've got the coaching. You've got, what else am I missing? I mean, there's just so many things that you get with the combo that you don't get with any other package. So you've got to be convinced yourself that this is the package to start with. And you've got to, because if you're not convinced, you're not going to be able to sell this to someone else, right? You're just not. You've got to be completely convinced that the combo is the way to go to invest and to be successful. Oh, and let me just mention a huge piece is the commitment. The commitment is night and day between someone who starts with their essentials and someone who starts with their combo. I always like to tell the story. I actually came back from Fiji, guys, and I hadn't had immediate success in Renatus. I joined right before leaving for Fiji. I didn't have immediate success. And so when I actually came back from Fiji, I was having success being a realtor. So when I came back, I was actually thinking I'm going to be a realtor, and I started prospecting for realtor clients 4 hours a day. And then, that it didn't go quite as well as I'd wanted. And I started thinking, I paid 20 grand. I paid 20 grand for this education. And I'm like, I darn well better get a return on this investment. So I thought, hey, I'm going to start plugging back into Renatus. I'm going to go to some of the meetings. I came back to the meeting. It was, in Salt Lake City, it was like twice as good as when I had before I had left. And by the way, it's now gotten 10 times better than it was when I came, when I plugged in 2.5 years ago. But it was because I put $20,000 into this that I was convinced that that's what made all the difference for me to come back. And I'm so glad I did, because my life's been forever changed. I might be just a realtor, just being someone else's slave all day, every day. Had I not jumped in, had I not made that $20,000 investment that committed me, guys. So you got to be convinced yourself that this is the best way. Remember, if they start with the essentials, yeah, a lot of people upgrade, but a lot of people get busy and they realize that real estate is hard and they drop out. So, I would really encourage you to say, hey, this is the best way. I'm gonna especially if this person can qualify, if they have a 680 or above credit score, if I can get them $4,000 or more, then I'm gonna get them started here. Now, again, if they only qualify for 4,000, I usually don't want to start them at the combo by themselves, just because I don't want, unless they can afford the payment, right? If they can afford the payment, they can come up with the 4,000 with their current income, not relying on future income, right? But if with their current income they can afford the 580 payment, which is going to go down to like 490, which I'm excited about. If they can afford that, then I'm putting them in the combo. Okay, so this is what's gotten us ahead. This is, I think, thinking about the other aspects of how we operate compared to Chicago. This is the biggest difference, I think. And I think it's what's put us up on top. So anyway, so be convinced yourself, and then just even if it may take longer to convince them to go for the combo, just go for that only. Don't. And here's what I found, guys. Here's what I found is that, amazingly, you think that the price is the concern, but the price is a smokescreen for uncertainty, as we learn about in The Way of the Wolf. I would really encourage you to read Straight Line Persuasion. It's in our list of books. Okay. In the Straight Line Persuasion, The Way of the Wolf, I think is what it's called. It might have both of those in the title, but it's in our list. So just what I've found is that oftentimes I'll try and back them into essentials because I think the price is their main concern. And you know what? A lot of these people, like, it's not about that. I try and, we'll do this 2,000. I mean, that's it. What the problem is that they're worried. They have some doubts concerning, three things: the company, the product, or you. They're not sure about working with you. So you've got to get them to a 10 out of 10 about Renatus, about real estate investing in general, and the educational route, and then you've got to help them get to a point where they think that you are going to help them get to the land of financial freedom. All right, so it's one of these three things that's holding them back. That's the real smokescreen. Don't listen when they say, oh, it's just so much money. And I know that is a concern, but usually it's one of these three things: the company, the product, or you. You need to increase their certainty in all three of these dimensions to get them to overcome that concern and to jump in at the combo level. So again, if you're don't give in to that temptation to be like, oh, I'm just gonna send them to essentials. I'm just gonna sell them essentials and they'll upgrade later. Look, you're gonna have to do that much work to get them to upgrade. It's not like it's I know a lot of people do upgrade, but it takes a lot of time and effort and energy to get people to upgrade. So just start them out right at the top level where they're going to get the most commitment, the most material, the most help with the coaching, all the bonus. Convince yourself, focus on that only, even though they're going to know the other options. Just say, yeah, there's these other options, but if you really want to invest in real estate, if you really want to be serious, this is what you're going to do, right? Just make that the only option that you're going to consider. And I'm telling you, your business is going to be so much better, so much stronger, and you're going to help us to stay ahead of Chicago, because I want to stay on top. I don't know about you guys, but I want to stay on top. So that's my message today. Hopefully I didn't rock the boat too much, but I really believe in this message, and it's made a huge difference in my business. So I'll stop and pause. Does anyone have? I just take a few minutes. If anyone has any questions or comments, go ahead and make your comments known. Any comments or questions? I can see your chats, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah, so Tiffany says, I started with my essentials because that was kind of my only option. I heard there are other options to get financed for the 20K, but I got the help card to get the essentials, and I tried to get my credit line, and that didn't work. So any suggestions are appreciated. So I would look into maybe looking into like a personal line of credit. Maybe try and get a few other credit cards on your own outside of the get funded online. Maybe find a partner who can help upgrade you, and you can join and bring them on as a learning partner. There's a lot of ways to do it. Oh yeah, Edwin says we're not just number one in the country, but in the world. That's right. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, Cody says, I love how this is the only way in your mind, and it teaches us why you're on top. It is, guys. I mean, just remember, yeah, could you sell more if you focus on essentials? You could sell a little bit more, but could you sell 10 times more? Because that's what you need to do. If you focus on this is their only option, I'm going to get them on this. Obviously you're telling them about other things, but that this is the option. It's just you're going to be making way more income, helping way more people get 5-star qualified. Yeah, it's really the great way to go. So any last questions, you can just type them into your comment box. Any and technically, if all you're selling is essentials, you're never going to get 5-star qualified. And then remember that all these people that you're bringing in at UGA Essentials, most of them are bringing other people that can only qualify UGA Essentials. So part of it is increasing the quality of your pool, right? Of the prospects that you're working with, and that's probably a topic for another day. But warm market is definitely a great way to go. I'd start going to networking groups, go to entrepreneurial meetings. You're going to find people who are more qualified than putting up, roadside signs or ads. All right. Looks like I'm not seeing any. Yeah, and Cody also says, if you're hoping to help them get 5-star, the only option is combo. That's right. I mean, that's why I'm number 2 in the country right now with getting people 5-star. And number 1 is Mitch Nelson, because he has the same strategy. We want to help our people get 5-star, and we want to help people have more success in this business. If you started Essentials, don't feel bad about yourself. Find a way to make it happen. Find a way to upgrade. But I would say keep this as your new mindset, and it's gonna really transform your business. So I thank you all for joining today, and let's go get them, guys. Work your warm market. Let's bring in those people.
Thanks, Nate. It was awesome.
You bet, man.